Well, Mum was living at home alone since my dad died in 2008, and we were noticing that more and more day-to-day things were becoming difficult. Things that she'd done all her life that she was just losing the ability to do because...
I told you a long time before you accepted it, you didn't want to accept what was coming.
Yeah.
And I didn't want her to be left with this suddenly realise what's happened and she doesn't understand why. So I made him start to, doing things that would remind her that this is not going to be like this forever.
Losing her keys and not feeling confident locking the house, and I got a call one day to say that the house had dropped because she couldn't close the door. After 55 years of the house there, overnight it dropped and she couldn't shut the door. There's no problem-solving ability there anymore. She's just not able to do these things. So we knew the time was coming, and that's why we had been looking. When she went into Bankstown Hospital, she sort of had an episode of florid delirium as well. So
I frightened them all, didn't I?
Well, you frightened everybody,
people.
Yes. And I think it was just a little indicator of what was to come with the Lewy body dementia. But yeah, so ACAT said that that was it. She couldn't go home alone. So then my brother and I had to fast track what we'd already researched, and we chose Fairlea because it ticked most of our boxes, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And then we got a diagnosis about the dementia, and life's been pretty interesting ever since, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've been to places I've never been in my life and done things I've never done before. It's all opening up for me now.
Having a lovely time in that mind of yours, aren't you?
Yeah. When we went into Fairlea is when it really took over for sure, wasn't it?
The care.
The care.
Yes, you then got the level of care that you needed.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't have to be worried about you.
Once I moved in there, I wasn't frightened of it or anything. I just seemed to took it in my stride.
Into Fairlea.
This is the one. Yeah,
you did,
is the one
actually.
I keep saying that don't go thinking this, thinking that's going to happen, but you've got to be ready for it.
And the fact that it's bright and well lit, and it has a warm feel.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, I think.
It feels more homely than some of the other places that we looked at. Yeah. That was your biggest fear about coming to a nursing home, wasn't it? Just having to leave your home behind and life as you knew it, really.
Well, that's true.
Into an unknown.
Yeah.
David was very good in alleviating most of my fears, because at the time Mum was in Bankstown Hospital and she was not in a very good state at all with this florid delirium, and all sorts of strange things were happening, and I really wasn't sure whether Fairlea could accommodate all Mum's needs, because she really wasn't well at the time, and it at the time was a low care facility, but David assured me that he would staff it in a way and assess Mum and make sure that there was enough staff to deal with whatever Mum's problems were. And David made me feel confident that that would happen, and he was true to his word, and Mum did receive the care that she needed, and thankfully Mum's condition improved somewhat once she was out of Bankstown Hospital and into Fairlea. And you seemed to settle in quite well to start with, didn't you?
Yeah.